So, you're looking to go up on the lakes and do some boat watching. Maybe for the first time, but you don't want to look like a doofus. Boat nerds around the lakes often speak in terms of their own. And if you learn these few things about lake boats, you'll blend right in. First off, lakeboat. These are the vessels that exclusively sail upon the Great Lakes. Salty. Vessels that come into the Great Lakes from the saltwater oceans by way of the St. Lawrence Seaway are commonly referred to as Salties. You can easily recognize them by their names, which cannot be pronounced by North Americans. Most lakeboat buffs pay little attention to them because they're usually here for a single visit, and then you never see them again. The exception being the FedNav Salties. That fleet often visits the lakes. They have red hulls, cream-colored cabins, and their name often starts with the word Federal. It's okay to like them. Next, self-unloaders. Nearly all lakers these days are self-unloaders. A self-unloader has a cargo hold with hopper-shaped bottoms and trap doors. Beneath the doors is one or more conveyor belts that cargo drops onto and is shuttled to another belt that takes it topside. There it is dropped onto a third belt that takes the cargo shoreside by way of a long boom and dumps it on the dock. When asked, how long is that boom, it's okay to simply say, about 250 feet, because that's close enough. The exact length of a specific boom for a specific boat is up to the insane, die-hard, beyond boat nerd standing nearby you who will compulsively state the correct measurement, among other things. Hey, at least you know now how the thing actually works. There is only one true non-self-unloading laker running these days, and it is important that you can recognize her on sight. It is the Ojibwe. Her proper designation is straight decker. Her beauty is to be revered at all times, and verbally doing so is highly boat nut. The largest vessels on the Great Lakes are just over 1,000 feet long. There are a baker's dozen of them at work, and they are commonly called footers. The first of these was the Stuart J. Court, which came out in 1972. Knowing those facts is a foundation for being a lakeboat buff. Always be sure and point out the huge number 1 painted on her stern cabin. Although she does not have an unloading boom, she is a self-unloader. On her stern are 2 large doors, and behind them is where her unloading shuttle arms are located. The largest of the footers is the Paul R. Tregurtha. She came out in the spring of 1981 and is 1,013 feet long. All of the footers can only fit through the pole lock at the Sioux and are landlocked to the 4 western Great Lakes because they cannot fit through the Welland Canal or the St. Lawrence Seaway. Taconite iron ore and coal are the cargoes that the footers exclusively carry. The Court restricts herself only to taconite. Lake boats, for the most part, commonly carry taconite, coal, and grain. Cargoes such as stone, salt, and even sand are also carried. These are taconite pellets. Now, some terms. There are only 2 directions that lake boats travel in: upbound and downbound. Anything traveling north or west is considered upbound. Anything traveling south or east is considered downbound. Keep it that simple. The boat nerds do. The port of Sault Ste. Marie, either in Michigan or Ontario, is simply called the Soo. When there, make sure to get a whitefish sandwich at the Lockview restaurant. I always do. Here's mine from the last time I was there. It's a very boat nerd thing to do. There once used to be dozens of lakeboat fleets. Today, there are only a few major fleets. The few big fleets are Interlake Steamship Company, Lower Lakes Transportation, also known as Lower Lakes Towing, the Great Lakes Fleet, Algoma Central, and Canada Steamship Lines. Interlake has some of the best-kept lake boats and has been in operation since 1913. They operate 4 of the footers. The Great Lakes Fleet was formerly known as U.S. Steel, and because of their silver smokestacks, their boats are often referred to as tin stackers. Lower Lakes Transportation is often called LLT, and are noted for taking the older boats, modernizing their equipment, and keeping those classic lake boats running. We like that a lot. Algoma Central operates some of the newest vessels and imports their boats from overseas. Canada Steamship Lines is the grandfather of Canadian lake boat owners and is commonly referred to simply as CSL. For viewing lake boats, you have to find the choke point locations. The 2 prime spots are Port Huron and the Soo. These 2 areas are where most of the vessel traffic can be seen. Prime at Port Huron is anywhere along the Thomas Edison Parkway on the U.S. side. On the Canadian side, Waterfront Park is the best place. Die-hard boat nerds will go to Port Huron before dawn and cross over into Canada to photograph with the morning sun at their back, then cross back to the U.S. side at noon to again shoot pictures with the sun at their back. Of course, now there's Sault Ste. Marie. Let's go look. At the Soo, the favorite boat nerd spot has always been Mission Point, or as the folks aboard the freighters call it, the Mission. There's nothing like a sunrise shot from the Mission.